Due to scheduling conflicts brought on by the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes, Godzilla vs. Kong 2 has been postponed until April 12, 2024. Currently undergoing editing and post-production, the film was shot in Queensland, Australia. Today we are going to discuss all about Godzilla vs. Kong 2. Godzilla vs. Kong: The New Empire promises an epic battle, building on the anticipation generated by the conclusion of the previous modern Godzilla vs. Kong film. The MonsterVerse's trajectory was always leading towards the clash between Godzilla and Kong. 6 years prior to the release of Godzilla vs. Kong on theaters and HBO Max, Warner Bros. And Legendary Entertainment had revealed their intentions to create a King Kong movie alongside a Godzilla sequel. It was widely expected that this would ultimately culminate in a colossal showdown between Godzilla and Kong. It was clear to all that the intention was to set up the big screen confrontation between the two beasts in 2021. Nevertheless, no MonsterVerse sequels were announced before the film's premiere, most likely due to the studio's desire to keep the outcome a secret. Godzilla and Kong return in Godzilla vs. Kong 2 to conclude their fight, since that film's conclusion sees both monsters ascend to the position of king in their own realms, with Godzilla continuing to rule as the Alpha Titan on Earth and Kong ruling as the king of the Hollow Earth. An omitted sequence set in the Hollow Earth, originally planned for Godzilla vs. Kong, had the potential to enhance Kong's concluding scenes. Although it wasn't the first time these two titans had clashed on screen, the anticipation for the 2021 blockbuster remained high. In Adam Wingard's crossover film, the narrative moved swiftly, minimizing the focus on human drama. While Godzilla vs. Kong might not be considered the finest installment in the MonsterVerse, it offered a particularly enjoyable and entertaining experience. Moreover, despite the challenges posed by the pandemic, the film achieved significant success, prompting the confirmation of Wingard's involvement in Godzilla vs. Kong 2. Godzilla vs. Kong unveiled the Hollow Earth, an underground ecosystem that served as the Titan's original habitat. A significant portion of the narrative revolves around the human protagonist and Kong's journey to access the Hollow Earth, revealing a world teeming with extraordinary creatures. This subterranean realm is expected to play a significant role in the upcoming MonsterVerse installments. However, the expedition's conclusion deviates from the original script, as Godzilla uses his atomic breath to create an opening directly into the throne room of Kong's ancestors, hinting at more elaborate sequences originally planned for this pivotal moment. In an interview with Empire, Wingard disclosed that Godzilla and Kong engaged in combat once more on the Hollow Earth. Godzilla was meant to descend inside the throne room when he exploded into Earth, where he and fellow Alpha Titan Kong would have engaged in combat. The director stated that although this scene was extensively storyboarded, they were unable to distinguish it from the other two bouts, thus he concluded that cutting it would have a greater impact. Nevertheless, the Godzilla vs. Kong finale might have benefited from more thematic weight if there had been a fight in the throne room. There's a clear subtext to Godzilla smashing into the royal room of Kong's forefathers in MonsterVerse, as Kong only became King Kong when he was seated there. It would have been much more powerful to have Kong defend his new territory once he emerged from Godzilla vs. Kong as the ruler of the Hollow Earth. Though it could have been strange to conclude with the two monsters crawling out of the throne room to resume their battle in Hong Kong, Wingard makes a valid argument when he says he didn't want to add a fight only to add more action. Godzilla vs. Kong had significant post-production modifications. Although this could indicate a problem between Wingard and the studio, Wingard was the one who decided these adjustments were required. Godzilla vs. Kong lost a number of character arcs and subplots since he thought the film should have lasted no longer than 2 hours. This includes reducing the significance of Monarch in the story and eliminating almost all of Lance Reddick's responsibilities as its director. A scene in which Godzilla attacks a Monarch base was also eliminated. Ren Serizawa, Shun Ogiri, was likewise extensively altered. His father, Ken Watanabe's late Dr. Serizawa, is not even mentioned in the final Godzilla vs. Kong, and the scene where he first meets Lind, played by Alexander Skarsgård, in a pub was omitted. Both Jessica Henwick's reporter role and Zhang Ziyi's cameo from King of the Monsters were completely axed. In addition, it was disclosed that Godzilla's actions had been directed by Maya, played by Aiza Gonzalez, through a unique apparatus which first accounted for the monster's global rampage. Godzilla vs. Kong 2 has an opportunity to honor the events of Godzilla, King of the Monsters by incorporating Godzilla's subordinate creatures. By the conclusion of Godzilla's second installment in the MonsterVerse, the legendary Kaiju solidified his role as the Titan's alpha after defeating Ghidorah. Consequently, he gained control over a number of his own Titan subordinates. Though all 5 were absent from Godzilla vs. Kong, King of the Monsters set up Rodan, Methuselah, Behemoth, Scylla, and the third Muto to be Godzilla's friends in the MonsterVerse's future. The crossover movie failed to properly interpret King of the Monsters' ending by opting not to use them. Godzilla became the alpha after defeating Ghidorah, but that status is meaningless without monsters to rule. The MonsterVerse needs Titans who can follow Godzilla into battle and respect him like the real king of the monsters if the ending is to have any real significance. The easiest way for that to happen is if Godzilla's henchmen return in his upcoming MonsterVerse film. Although Godzilla's goons aren't allowed right now, it wouldn't take much to allow them to return. Godzilla can simply bring them out of slumber when necessary if he can send them into it in the first place. If Godzilla needs assistance to defeat his next foe in Godzilla vs. Kong 2, then that could be the moment for it at last. If called upon, Godzilla may fight with Rodan, the 4 original Titans from King of the Monsters, and any one of the 11 missing Titans from the film. They would have to obey him automatically, being the alpha. Godzilla and Kong will be facing off against an undiscovered threat hidden deep within our world, according to the plot summary for the upcoming film. This description most likely alludes to the presence of one or more formidable Titans living somewhere within the Hollow Earth. Including his buddies in the battle can become essential if the threat described in the summary is in fact several. Godzilla and Kong would need to engage in a full-scale Titan war in order to overcome their next obstacle. In Godzilla vs. Kong 2, Godzilla's role as the alpha might be more crucial than ever if that's the case. An Easter egg from Godzilla King of the Monsters offers insight into the potential inclusion of Anguirus in Godzilla vs. Kong 2. Although there isn't a full-length trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong: The New Empire, Legendary Entertainment did release a title reveal trailer that teases the new adversary and may have revealed more than the studios meant. In the teaser, a powerful Titan with luminous blue eyes is seen sitting amidst bones and other remnants. With a thunderous roar, the movie's title is blasted across the screen as the camera pans out to reveal the luminous skulls of Kong's ape species and a Godzillasaurus. The screen suddenly fills with the new villain's blue glowing eyes before going dark. That's all about today's video. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, press the bell icon to get notified of our upcoming videos. Let us know your opinion in the comment section below.